clean it up?
Go shopping.
Come on.
Doozy of a show today.
Yeah.
Save me.
Very
Save me, misogynist Bane.
Very Royce White of you.
Wow. Let's talk about that.
Shall we?
Yes, we shall. We shall.
Royce White, for those of you who do not know, is somebody who was an exceptional basketball player at Iowa State.
Okay.
He was at Iowa State. He
State.
was an exceptional basketball player. And one of the reasons that he's probably not in the NBA is because he was just generally problematic. He would not want to travel. He cited mental health stuff a lot sooner than most people cited mental health stuff. And now he has said, among other things, as a politician who is gathering strength, and I don't know where he is in politics, but he did win his district or whatever. Yeah. He now says that women are too mouthy. This is what he said yesterday.
By the way, that's like every comment under our Instagram when they post a video of me. So his message may really resonate. Apparently, he won his primary in Minnesota. He's running for a GOP Senate seat.
Yes. Okay, so this is someone with zero experience in politics whatsoever. He's running against he's won the Republican primary, and he's going to be running against the incumbent Amy Klobuchar. But to clean up some of the things that you said, because, Dan, I don't know if you know this, Royce White was literally my last act working for the Phoenix Suns in terms of scouting, not only basketball, but also the intel, the background, and everything. When all of Iowa State staff was telling our front office, he's great, he doesn't have any problems, I was the one who was like, that's not what I'm hearing. And so he was the forerunner for all the mental health conversation we've had in sports. He does have an anxiety problem. It did cause him great levels of anxiety to fly. At the time, the research I did showed that he got on most trips. A couple of them where the anxiety went too high, but he would take something, he would get on the trip, and that wasn't a problem. The biggest issue was, yes, he does have anxiety issues and other mental health issues, but he was what we like to call like a guy who's smart enough to know when I can use that as an excuse to either A, do something I didn't want to do, or B, basically flip the power dynamic in any situation. And so a lot of kind of difficulties as far as someone being coachable. And at the end of the day, like my assessment was, he's a good player, but given all of these difficulties,
not worth it. All things being equal, I'm not going to do all of this for my ninth guy.
So, and that was, I thought, a very kind of basic assessment, right? Over the years, he flamed out very quickly from the NBA because that stuff doesn't fly when you're not good enough. And over the years, he's become more and more radicalized, especially post-COVID, right? Really crazy kind of right-wing, a lot of stuff that's kind of offensive and problematic.
He was on Steve Bannon's show. And
so, we're leading up to this, right? I'm just saying there's a process. So we get to now, he decided to enter politics, right? Run as a Republican, wins the primary as a Republican candidate for this Senate seat. And then he goes on Steve Bannon's show. Do we have the sound or should I read the quote?
No, the sound's not any good. They talked over each other a bunch. But I gave you, there's not a lot more than women are too mouthy. I don't think.
Oh, Dan, we're building up to this. He says, quote, well, look, let's just be frank. Women have become too mouthy. As the black man in the room, I'll say that.
What?
That is a direct quote. So it is staggering on so many levels that that could be what he perceives to be a party line, right? Like that's him kind of thinking, hey, I'm speaking to my base. He's on Steve Bannon's show. He's clearly not talking to us. He's talking to his base. And the idea that the Republican base is these women, little lippy, haven't they become, right? That they become basically Adam McKay's character that we pranked Greg Cody with a couple of years ago. That's staggering. And to me, I really wonder, this is the part where I feel like is missing in most of the discourse, right? When it comes to politics. I really don't care who you vote for. Like you vote Republican, you vote Democrat. But what I crave in American politics right now is that when someone says something like this, you could be like, I'm a registered Republican, I vote Republican. That guy's a dumbass. You don't say that. That doesn't represent who I am. But everyone seems to be so lockstep and whatever. If someone's on my team said it, then I guess we got to ride out.
What the does that have to do with him being black?
That's a great. That's a black man in the room. I'll say it.
I will tell you guys that whether it's Kaepernick or Royce White, you do see clearly. I hope that you see clearly whether it's immigrants or others, or transgender issues, or just about anywhere where these divisions are making an appearance. In this case, Royce White as a man does not want women to have the equality of being as mouthy as he's always been and continues to be. This always ends up in the same place where it's some kind of other that's not in power asking for equality and then being told no by the gender in this case that has more of the power. It's the answer's always no. Kaepernick, what? You just don't want to be treated brutally by police? No, sorry. We're going to end 6 years of your career here in your prime. Women, you want to speak freely and have the power that men do? No, we're not going to allow it. Get back in the kitchen. You're not allowed abortions and rights to your own body. We have rights that you do not. And when you ask for the equality, the answer again and again is no.